Good morning, Dean. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Yourself?
I'm well. What can you tell us about availability going into Wednesday?
Junior Urso still out, but obviously Ashley Westwood comes back into the squad.
It's good to hear. So from your perspective, does this feel like an atypical midweek match, knowing that you have the weekend off and you feel like you can throw more at it?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we've got a bit of a 10-day break until the next game, so and then we're on the road for a week, I think. So, yeah, we can throw everything at it, knowing we've got a few days off after that. So I expect the lads to be really up for it.
Did switching Ben off at halftime kind of make you reconsider your options in terms of what to do from the start at attacking midfield?
No, not really. I mean, it was just an off day. I mean, reviewing the game, we was just off it intensity-wise in the first half of the game. And saying that, we still had a few chances ourselves and opportunities where we could have done better, but we just lacked intensity that we normally have in terms of when we go and hunt the ball down, and that was what was disappointing, to be honest.
Was Saturday, I mean, from the standpoint of being able to play without Ashley, I know that you don't have a lot of opportunities to do that, and you don't necessarily want to have to do that, but was it important for that group to get 90 minutes to try and figure out how to get through life without Ashley in the squad?
Yeah, I've said before, Ashley's an important player, person, because of the experience that he's got, his knowledge that he's got, and the class of the player he is. But I thought second half we showed that we can play without him. We caused them problems. They gave the ball away a lot more. Our intensity was better, and we probably should have scored as well. So I feel like a result got away from us there.
What do you know about Miami? I know that they obviously are without some players, but they've obviously been able to have a pretty strong June.
They've got a decent roster as well, haven't they? So it's going to be an interesting game. They're league leaders for a reason. So it's going to be a tough game for us. We've got to make sure that we're right at the top of our game. We can't start like we did against Philly and last week at Houston. We have to make sure we're ready right from the off, and I'm sure our fans will help us do that as well. But yeah, they're going to be a difficult team to play against because they're riding a lot of confidence at the moment and belief because of the results they're getting.
Last one for me. Your team has had a very good knack of being able to respond well when it comes to setbacks. You've had some pretty good games that have followed losses. What do you feel like is the secret to that, and how much of that do you try to channel going into Wednesday?
Well, I think there was a word that came out and was put in the English dictionary, bounce back ability. And hopefully we're showing a little bit of bounce back ability, and we're able to put mishaps behind us very quickly and concentrate and move on to the next one.
Thank you, Dean. Good luck.
Thanks, Will.
Okay, let's go to Sam Spencer.
Hey, Coach. Hope you're having a good morning.
Not bad. My coffee's been good so far, Sam.
Same. So first I have to ask you, is there any disappointment from you or the front office that no Charlotte players were selected for the MLS All-Star game?
I didn't know there weren't any. I don't really know what the MLS All-Star game is, to be honest. So you'll have to bear with me with that.
Just a couple. And it got announced on Monday. So
right, okay.
Yeah.
So what is that? That's an All-Star game. What players get chosen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there must be some good players there. Then if Melander's not in it.
No, I think your first answer was the one that will resonate the most with fans. What is the MLS All-Star game?
Okay. I'm new to it. New to it, so I've got an excuse.
So second, just wanted to ask, with the break coming up, have you had any talks with the front office or anybody in Carroll's camp about Carroll coming back now that Poland is out of the Euros?
No, as I said last week, that nothing's changed there. Carroll's due to come back in on the 8th. Nothing has changed. He'll have a week. He's had a week off, or he'll get a week off after the Euros, and then he'll come back in, and we'll sit down with him and see how he is, and he'll train with us and take it from there. Really.
And then finally, we're almost at the opening of the transfer window. Any idea on your requests for a 9 or a 10?
Yeah, I mean, we're having ongoing discussions. I know Zoran and Bobby have been pretty busy over the last week or two, along with Thomas, and we're having continuing discussions about certain players and certain positions that we'd like, and hopefully some news will come soon. But I think the window opens again. Is it this 18th?
Yeah, 18.
Yeah. So hopefully we can have some players coming in then.
All right, Coach. Best of luck tomorrow. Cheers.
Cheers, Sam. Thank you.
Steve Goldberg.
All right, Dean, good morning.
Morning, Steve.
Would have been a great morning to be out on the golf course.
Yeah, it would have been lovely on the golf course, but I'm quite happy preparing for the league leaders at the moment, to be honest.
And speaking of the league leaders, nice segue there. You haven't had the scheme for a team with Messi on it as of yet, but in looking at what they are, I mean, how do you scheme for this team without Messi, considering that they've won all 3 games without him?
Well, we've reviewed their performances. We're, again, as normal, as we do with any game that we're going into, we'll look at what their strengths are and what their possible weaknesses are, and try and work on them today over the last couple of days, and go into a game and try to win the game. We won't try not to lose. We'll try to win the game and make it as difficult for them as possible.
Well, Charlotte did beat them with Messi last year, but with this, who do you consider to be their strongest threats as they are now?
I think they've got threats all over the pitch, to be honest. Their left back's not bad either. So they've got players. I mean, Busquets played centre back the last game. I'll probably expect him to play as a holding midfielder again this game, with the centre back coming back. So they've got threats all over, and they've proven they're strong as well without Messi. He obviously makes them stronger, but it's certainly not a bad roster to have, is it?
No, not at all. And the way that Charlotte's playing right now, even with not getting the result in Houston, the team did play well, only allowed one very well-crafted goal with that. Do you see, they're the league leaders, but is this a matchup of equals?
Well, let's hope so. That's what we have to make it. We'll have to play at the top of our game. And as I said earlier, we lacked intensity in the first half. It was a well-worked goal for Houston, but there's a lot of things that we felt we could have done differently to prevent it. And we have to make sure that we're right at it tomorrow for the game. And we have been. There's been. Possibly the only game at home was Minnesota, a Sunday 6 o'clock kickoff, where I didn't feel we actually rose to the intensity levels that I want. So I expect us to be ready tomorrow.
Is there anything you could attribute that to? Not so much the Minnesota game, but like in Houston, why they didn't come out of the gate quickly?
We didn't come out of the gate quickly at Philly, and people talk about, was it the heat? I thought Philly was hotter than it was in Houston. And the second half we showed that we played with a lot more intensity. So for me, that wasn't about the heat. I think it was just a mentality that we were on a decent run. We'd only lost 1 in 10, and I've been warning the boys all week about the possibility of taking the foot off and make sure we don't take our foot off the gas. And I think subconsciously we probably did a little bit, and it took me at half time to a few harsh words to get them going again.
Was it, confidence lapsing into overconfidence then?
Yeah, a little bit. I think I just think our standards are when we play at an intensity and we go and win the ball back at an intensity. We have our pressing triggers, but we just got our press messed up for whatever reason. I said after the game, Patrick got a little bit emotional. He got a couple of decisions that went against him that should have gone for him. But I'm not going to sit here and complain about any refereeing decisions when I saw the one last night for the US game.
Yeah, that, which one I would ask in that, but because there's so many.
Well-
But, I mean, Patrick is getting.
Well, Greg's a better man than me because I don't think I'd be still sat on the bench at the end of the game.
Oh, no, I mean, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of nice words to use about the referee's performance last night, or at least not bad one. But I mean, Patrick is a physical player, and it looks like the referees are never giving him even an equal measure when it comes to the physicality with center backs that are the same size and stuff. And he's kind of taking a beating every game, and he's staying in it.
Yeah, I think with experience he'll learn how to use his body better and how to win a lot more free kicks. At the moment he's not getting an awful lot from the officials, but he's learning all the time, and that emotional control will be big for him, because he's had some really big performances for us this season, and I expect more, but it is a learning season for him, and we're there to help him.
Yeah, because he's not a diver. I mean, he's not taking light
not.
contact going down. He's riding tackles, and he's trying to get through and play the game.
But
and
as I said, he got assaulted, I think, in the penalty box against Red Bull, and we never even got a free kick out of that, so let alone a penalty. But it is what it is. He has to keep learning, and we just have to keep getting on with it.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Okay, Nikki.
Hi, Dean. I was just curious, that 4-game stretch before Houston was the team's best goal-scoring output over any 4-game stretch so far this season. I'm just kind of curious, especially with Liel coming into the saddle, how you've seen that front three kind of gel together, especially because they made so many contributions during that spell.
Yeah, I think the front three are becoming a problem for opposition at the moment. They're starting to get an understanding. We've got... I think Kerwin's been hitting a really good bit of form. Liel has. Patrick has. So as a front three, I think we're a threat against anybody. We probably need to provide a few more clear-cut chances. And at the same time, we need to be taking a lot more chances than we are doing as well. But we're a constant threat at the moment, and it's boding well how well they're linking up together.
Great. Thanks, Dean.
Cheers.
All right, I think that's everyone. So we'll wrap it up there. We'll see you
Thanks,
guys tomorrow at
guys.
the stadium.